how to attract new social media followers. Hello, happy Tuesday. It's John. It's the Marketing for Owners podcast. It's exciting. Well, it is for me. Do you know what I do? Well, let me tell you. I teach you, which also teaches me, how to create a company that markets itself, so we don't have to sit around worrying about where new customers come from. In fact, I've actually put together a free course that explains how to do it. You can learn how to do this from start to finish, absolutely every little bit, in 12 days. There's no credit cards, no nothing. Just go to www.freemarketingcourse.co. Yes, freemarketingcourse.co. How easy could that be? Honestly, there's no catch. Tell me what you think. It comes every day into your email inbox. It's video, really short, and you can do it on a mobile because we're that kind of company. We are available wherever you want us to be. So, social media. Oh, what a pain to get more followers. There are ways to do it. There are, in fact, 3 ways in a rough sense. One way is to buy followers and spam it up. And I'm going to tell you, don't do that. No, never, ever. I get people follow me on Twitter all the time and their headers say, buy 20,000 Twitter followers for $50. How on earth do they not get banned by Twitter? How can they even do that? How can Twitter not figure that out if it's in their bio? Just don't do it. Why would you? Because they're not real followers. Who cares? It's ego. It's not numbers. Right, so don't chase numbers for the sake of chasing numbers. Get followers on Twitter or on social media because they can become customers and they can share your information with other potential customers. They can get your reach to more audience everywhere, and it's completely and utterly free. The second way of doing it is to actually be social. That means to actually contact people via social media, chat to them like you would if you met them at a pub or a bar, at a restaurant, in the street, in the supermarket, Starbucks, and just be social and make friends that way. But in my experience, a vast number of us just aren't that social, aren't those kind of people. Me included, by the way. You're looking at someone here who isn't, social media for me is not the be-all and end-all. I don't love Twitter. You won't find me addicted to my iPhone on social media. But a lot of people are fantastic. They do really well. But for the rest of us, how do we do it? It is possible. Now, we do it by making the most of other people's followings. So quite simply, when you're on social media, you can talk to people one-on-one, but you want to get a few at a time. And by getting people's attention, they will read who you are, they will look up about you, and in your bio and on your social media profile, so this can be Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, doesn't matter what it is. They will check out your bio and then they will follow that link through to your website if it sounds interesting enough, and you can send them to a landing page where there is a lead magnet, something of fantastic value that is in tune with your audience that they sign up for. Something, for instance, like my freemarketingcourse.co that they sign up for, and then you have a chance to market to them because you have a chance to get them to know, like, and trust you over time, and when they need something, they become a customer. So how do we do this? So here's an idea. Find out in your industry who are the influencers, who have the most influence on social media. Now, one way to do this is to check a thing called Klout Score. Now, Klout Score, Klout, by the way, is K-L-O-U-T. So you can just Google Klout Score if you're not able to enter that in and figure out how to get there. But anyone who's on social media, if they will have a Klout Score or can find a Klout score. And what they do, they take averages of all your social media, you know, your Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc. And of course, people can artificially inflate. But once you get up to the top echelons, once you get up to above 70 or so, then it is very, very difficult to grow a Klout score higher than 70. Someone, you know, top really famous active people may have it up in the 90s, but that's rare. For the rest of us, if you have a Klout score of say 75 or 81, you are generally pretty good, and that means you have reach, and that means you're getting engagement, because they measure engagement. So then once you do that, figure out a list of these people, write them down, write down how many followers they have on certain social media. So if they got a lot on Instagram or Twitter, because most social media people prefer one platform over the others. Now, a lot of people are busy on Instagram at the moment. Some people, a lot of people have big followings on Facebook. I wouldn't bother so much about Facebook, by the way, because Facebook, you're not going to get very far. But Twitter is good for engagement, and Pinterest is also great. So if you can find people who are good at those and they fit your style, then note down these numbers and then find their blogs. Generally they're in social media, generally they will write, and generally they will have a blog, and that's where they write. So the next thing is, you find somebody, you then read their blog, find their top posts, and find a quote. Just not that they've made, you can find something they've said that means something, apparently means something to them. Quite often in a blog post, it will come out as what's called a block quote. Quite often it will have, you know, little quotations around it, or be highlighted in the middle or something like that. Or it could even be one of their headlines, something like that. But generally a quote, some people will do what are called tweetables, or tweet this little sections, because they're proud of what they said. Find one of those, make an image, go to Canva, pick one of their little templates, make it simple. You don't need to use one of their templates, you don't need to pay the dollar. Just go to a site such as unsplash.com or Gratisography, I can't remember the Gratisography. Look up the free, royalty-free websites such as Pixabay, places like that. Find some innocuous background, countryside, mountains, sky, flowers, something beautiful. Pop it into Canva, pop it into PicMonkey, and make a quotation. Pop the text on it, make the text big, make the text very bold. At the bottom, put by or dash, put their name. Okay, so they're kind of signing it off, yeah? And then create your image, post this on the social media site that is, so do it in the shape and the size. Canva is best for this because they got the templates for finding the sizes. So if they're an expert in Twitter, then put the image on Twitter, put a little comment next to it, something like inspirational words made my day so much better this day by, and then put their handle in it. Okay, put their Twitter handle in it. If you're using Instagram, tag their Instagram handle. If you're using Facebook, add their Facebook URL. Okay, and then pop it out there, and that is that. I mean, there are other tags in Instagram, you can tag it and so on, and pop it out there. Now, generally, top people will monitor social media. That's why they're good at social media, and they will pick it up, they will see it, they will find it, and they will share it. They quite often may come back to you and say, hey, thanks, glad we made your day, because they are social. And do this as a habit over time. You will grow your following because people will notice, people will follow people that the big people like. and you will get attention, and it will grow your following, and it will grow it naturally without spamming it. Now, don't do this too much. Don't just do this on its own. Put it in between your tweets, in between your shares. It also helps, by the way, to share other stuff of theirs. Make a little list of these people and do it in rotation. Do this over time, over and over. You'll gradually find you get to know them, and then eventually they start sharing your other stuff. Amazing. That's it. Anyway, it is a Tuesday, time for a toolbox tip. It's going to be very quick today because this I find that people aren't using, and I can't believe it. So it is, I've mentioned it before, but it is Google Photos. This is an app on your iPhone or Android. I'm sure they have it on Android, but it is free, totally free. When your phone, the reason I mention this, because I record these on my iPhone. And what do you think? What do I do with the storage? It fills up my phone. But all these videos get stored into Google Photos. When I get back onto Wi-Fi, I open up the app and it automatically uploads a copy of every video and every photo I've taken since the last one, and it just keeps them. Google doesn't lose stuff. Google is pretty good. Now you might say, oh, but what if it's Google? Google is Google. You know, you could say, oh yeah, but what if Facebook lost all my stuff? What if everyone? But of all the people least likely to lose stuff, Google mirror everything all over the world in multiple data centers. They've got loads of copies at their expense. It's free. You might say, oh, that's okay, but you've only got little 10-minute videos, John. No, I did a conference and Susan recorded it. The thing was like 50-minute video. It uploaded that. It just took a bit longer, and it's all there for free. Please use Google Photos. Clean up your phone, save them over there. You don't have to have bigger storage phones that you can't update and so on. That's it for me. Tomorrow, by the way, is our expert interview series. We have the fantastically likable Dave Kirpin, the author, talking about social media. If you haven't read his likable books, it's fantastic, and he's got a new one coming, but he was great. It's fantastic stories. What a lovely bloke. Listen in tomorrow. It's going to be episode 333. I'll see you there.